Wrestling with ideas is as exciting as wrestling in New Jerusalem, the fascinating current production at the New Jewish Theater. The complete title of David Ives' play is New Jerusalem, the Interrogation of Baruch de Spinoza at Torah Talmud Congregation, Amsterdam, July 27, 1656. Amsterdam was referred to as the New Jerusalem at that time because it was a refuge for Jews fleeing from the Inquisition in Portugal. The freedom to practice their religion openly came with a price, however, for the Jews of Amsterdam. The Dutch told the Jews, "Abide by our laws, adhere to the regulations governing your community, or face the consequences." These words are spoken in the play by Abraham van Valkenburg, a regent of Amsterdam, who initiates the interrogation of Spinoza because his radical ideas about God have made him a public menace, a threat to the piety and morals of the entire city. As director Tim Ocel points out in a program note, almost nothing is actually known of what occurred on July 27, 1656. Ives' imagined version is performed in the round in the Wool Studio Theater in a staging that blurs the distinction between the areas for the actors and the audience. This choice also blurs the distinction between the audience in the congregation and the audience in the theater. Ocel has a superb cast. Spinoza's ardor for ideas is white-hot in the performance by Rob Reardon, who is equally adept at listening and responding to others. So is everyone in the cast. The great strength of the play is that the ideas have an impact on the characters. They listen, they question their stances, they change their positions. There's real drama in the intellectual struggle to understand the ideas that were eventually expressed in Spinoza's philosophical treatise on ethics. As Valkenburg, Jim Butts is a fierce prosecutor, but I was completely convinced when even he evinces interest in Spinoza's thinking. John Flack is the chief rabbi of Amsterdam, and Greg Johnston is the lay leader of the congregation, capture the anguish of community leaders who are torn between their love and admiration for Spinoza and their obligation to defend the community. Will Bonfiglio finds humanizing depth in Spinoza's friend and betrayer, Simon de Vries. Carly Pinder evokes deep pathos for Spinoza's loyal friend, Clara van den Enden. Jennifer Thebe Quinn has the full measure of both the humor and the humanity of Spinoza's mercurial sister, Rebecca. Because of the staging in the round, the set by Peter and Marjorie Spack is uncomplicated, but there are telling details, as in the slight angle of the railing around the set in relation to the seats. Pictures of the actual location are hanging on the wall opposite the entrance to the theater. They're worth looking at. Michelle Friedman Seiler's costumes have impressive specificity, and John Ontiveros' lighting is especially helpful when the scene of the action changes. I can't recommend this production highly enough.
And I'll go along with you on that. It's a fascinating piece. I wonder why David Ives was attracted to it, since we think of some of the wonderful comic pieces he's written, but he's written other serious pieces too.
And it's impressive to see how well he did this one.
Yeah.